I had Bernie Sanders on the podcast yesterday, and one of the things that we talked about quite a bit was what's going to happen with people when automation takes over, when AI and automation take over, and so many people are not working anymore. And we both kind of agree that universal basic income is really the only way to mitigate the disastrous effects of people losing their income, losing their jobs. And I think it's a good thing. But the problem with universal basic income is that just giving people a check, they don't have meaning anymore. They don't feel like they have a purpose. They don't feel like they have an identity. If your whole life you've been, X, whatever the job is that gets taken away, and you recognize you're being really good at your job, and you take pride in that, and you're known by your coworkers as like, hey, go to Paul. He knows what he's doing. Then all of a sudden, that job disappears. How do people find value, and how do they switch their perspective? And talking to you today, I think, is perfect, because I think if there's anything that could help us through this journey, that could help people make this transition, which appears to be inevitable, where artificial intelligence is going to do a far better job at a lot of menial tasks that people have been doing for an occupation for a long time, to find a search for meaning, to find some other way to realize value in life, and not just to be a cog in the wheel of this capitalist society, but instead maybe psilocybin would allow people to completely change their perspective of how they exist in this world, and that you've been kind of trapped in this society where it values numbers, it values a constant growth for the shareholders, and it values what you can see in your bank account that's like not even real. It's all this digital money that's somewhere. Maybe psilocybin would be the best answer for how do people make this transition and reacquire a sense of meaning.
I mean, do you want to spend your whole life on an assembly line? You want to be out more in nature with your children.
Right.
That's
And
why I
if,
think nature relatedness, is a mental health advantage. The more that we can relate to nature,
yes,
and literally kind of go back to our roots, re-engaging nature. I think this is, and then
and that would give you a sense of purpose instead of the job. We've gotten so accustomed to this idea that your purpose is to make money. Your purpose is to make a living. And we've accepted that, even though it's a fairly new concept in terms of the age of the earth. This is a human-created concept, but it overwhelms our day-to-day existence. It doesn't have to, though.